The greatest verse in the Quran is Ayatul Kursi, which is the verse of the throne, and it starts like this. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. And this ayah, like thousands of other examples in the Quran, contains the pronoun huwa, which refers to Allah, may He be exalted. And generally, when referring to Allah, we also use the masculine pronoun huwa. And when you even consider the translation of this verse and others like it, we see that it is translated into He. So now comes the question, why is Allah exclusively referred to using huwa, the Arabic masculine pronoun, rather than hiya, or she? Does that mean that masculinity is favored over femininity? And before we can answer these questions, it is important to know that Allah is neither male nor female, and there is no one or nothing like Him. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. So if He is neither male or female, why is He then specifically used? Why can't we just use she then? Well, first of all, as Muslims, we should know that we are not allowed to give any names or attributes to Allah except for the ones that He had given Himself in the Quran or told us about them through His Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. So, when Allah revealed the Quran, He chose to refer to Himself using the pronoun He. Therefore, we are obliged to use the same pronoun to refer to Allah the same way He did, and we have no room for our own input in that matter. But then the question still remains, is there a reason why Allah chose He rather than other pronouns to refer to Himself? And the answer is, yes, there is a reason. And the reason is purely linguistic. So what does that mean then? Well, the Quran was revealed in Arabic and among Arabs. So it was important that the Quran agrees with how the Arabs speak, so that they can fully understand it and then be able to spread its message to all nations. So in order to understand why Allah chose He, we need to look at how Arabs actually used the masculine forms and what they used the word huwa for. Arabs use masculine forms in three situations. They use it to express 1. Whatever is certain to be masculine. 2. A thing whose gender is not yet known. 3. Whatever is not described as masculine or feminine. So let's go through them one by one to understand this even better. So as for number 1, it basically speaks for itself. Anything that is a definite male, we use masculine forms with it, like a man. And as for number 2, we use masculine forms to refer to things that we don't know yet if they are masculine or feminine. So for example, if someone came knocking on your door, and you want to ask who's knocking, in Arabic you would say it like that. Man at-tariq. So the word at-tariq in this case is in the masculine form because this word means the man who knocks. And we use it since we don't know yet if the person waiting behind the door is a man or a woman. That's why we did not say man at-tariqa, which is the female version of the word, the woman who is knocking on the door. So, before knowing what is the gender of the person who's knocking, Arabs would use the masculine pronoun to refer to them. And they do that simply because the masculine form of a word is its origin. And to get the feminine version of the word, you will need to add something to the word, a suffix, so that it becomes female. So here we added ta' marbuta at the end of the word at-tariq, to make it al-tariqa. And the same thing applies with so many other examples. That's why it is easier and more logical to use the source of the word, or in that case, the masculine form. And now, coming to the third point. Arabs also used masculine forms with what cannot be described as masculine or feminine. And since Allah is neither male or female, then Allah uses the language that Arabs would understand, and therefore, He refers to Himself using the masculine form. And also, when Allah refers to or talks about His angels, Allah also uses the masculine forms as well. So, it is a misconception that in Arabic, the masculine form are only and exclusively referring to males. But in Arabic, masculine forms have far more functions than that. On the contrary, in Arabic, using feminine forms exclusively refers to females and nothing else. So, when referring to a group of people, you can only use the feminine forms if the entire group was 100% made up of females. But if there was even one single man in the group, you would have to use the masculine form, which is used to refer to both male and females. And that's why Allah also uses the same method in the Quran, like what we see in Surah Al-Mu'minun. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The word Al-Mu'minun is in the masculine form, and it would be wrong to think that Allah is only talking to men. In fact, Allah is addressing all believers, male and female. So if you are wondering why Allah does not use the pronoun hiya or she to describe Himself, the answer would be because if Allah did, it would conclusively indicate that Allah, may He be exalted, does have a gender, while in fact He does not. That's why Allah rebuked those referring to angels as females. وَجَعَلُوا الْمَلَائِكَةَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ إِنَاثًا أَشَهِدُوا خَلْقَهُمْ سَتُكْتَبُ شَهَادَتُهُمْ وَيُسْأَلُونَ. So, since angels do not have a definite gender that we know of, we or anyone else are not allowed to specify their gender, which is what the disbelievers did when they called them or referred to them as females, and that's why it is a great sin to do so. So, since Arabic does not have a neutral pronoun, the masculine pronoun will always be used, since it is the default pronoun which does not have to imply masculinity, while female pronouns like hiya or she in Arabic are used exclusively when the subject is female, and by using it, you will always be specifying the gender of the subject. But hey, wait a minute. English does have the word it, which is the neutral pronoun. And now you might be thinking, well, why don't we just translate huwa, that refers to Allah, into it in English, since huwa here does not refer to a masculine being? And the answer is, yes, it is true that English does have a neutral pronoun, which is it. But this neutral gendered pronoun is not to be used for beings possessing the attributes of knowledge, power, and will, let alone referring to the King of Kings. In English, it would be a sign of disrespect to use the pronoun it in such a context. That is not the point, of course. Finally, is the pronoun huwa a name of Allah? And the answer is simply no. Huwa refers to Allah, but there is no confirmed hadith or an ayah in which it states that huwa is indeed a name of the Almighty. It is simply a pronoun that Allah uses to refer to Himself. Allah also uses in the Quran, إِنَّنِي أَنَا اللَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدْنِي. Here Allah refers to himself using the pronoun ana, which means I. So here there is no reason for us to think that ana is a name of Allah. So similarly, and for the same reason, huwa is not a name of Allah either, and should not be considered as such. So in the end, you should know that masculinity or femininity are not among the attributes of Allah the Almighty, and when using the word huwa to refer to Allah, we should not think it or liken the Almighty to any of His creation. Indeed, Allah is far greater and far higher than any of that. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something new today. If you did, please like and share the video for other people to learn from it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.